Salida, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jim and welcome to Sounds German. Today with a little rant, a little information piece or opinion piece or whatever you want to call it. Given that I focus exclusively on Germany, Austria and Switzerland, there is not really too much things going on worth such a video, which is why I want to point it out all the more. Now, a buddy of mine pointed out that German YouTuber the Changeman, uh, uh, I have actually no idea how to correctly pronounce the name, so I'll just roll with Changeman. So, a buddy of mine pointed out to me that Changeman had some copyright trouble with a German music label called Massacre Records. Now, I personally don't really watch German YouTubers at all, so I didn't know his channel, I didn't know the guy, but I chatted him up on Twitter and he was nice enough to respond and give me some infos. And what happened is the following. Changeman made videos in which he analyzed songs. What is relevant here are the two song analysis videos about the songs Nachtgeburt and Futter für die Schweine, both of which are by the German dark metal band Eisregen, which are in return under contract right now with German label Massacre Records. In these videos, Changeman put some acoustic guitar music on which he played himself, quoted the lyrics and analyzed them. He talked about the lyrics and tried to explain them and their content. These two videos, however, were blocked worldwide on YouTube, apparently by the label in 2017, even though they were uploaded in 2012. And it looks like the reasons are rather petty in nature. Now, the reason given for blocking those videos worldwide, which is not to be confused with a copyright strike, was the use of copyrighted music. That was the official reason named in the blocking. But as I explained before, and I saw a re-upload of one of those videos myself and thus can confirm it firsthand, Changeman didn't use any copyrighted music. He didn't play the original songs, even though that would have probably been legal too, seeing as it would have been for critique, but as I explained before, he just took out an acoustic guitar and strummed over the lyric explanation himself. As we recently saw in the case of Mad Hoss vs. H3H3 Productions, it is considered fair use to use substantial parts of an original work for critique purposes, at least in the USA. And Changeman's videos could in no way be seen as a substitute for the original work. So, at least to me, as a legal layman, it seems pretty clear that this would have been a fair use even if Changeman would have used the original songs. But as I explained before, he didn't. I personally think it's far more the analysis itself that pissed off either the band or the label or both. It came off as very lax, not taking the songs super seriously, but also not being necessarily too nice. To be perfectly frank, I felt Changeman redundantly over-analyzed the lyrics, taking them very, very literal. But mind you, I'm also an Eisregen fan. And his videos were not mean-spirited or offensive in any way. But even if you were to think it's the worst song analysis video ever to be created, that doesn't change the fact that it still has its right to stand as a form of critique. You can love those videos or hate them, but no matter what you think of them, you don't have the right to use copyright as a weapon to make critique disappear. Period. Taking the videos down for youth protection reasons would have been somewhat reasonable actually, at least in Germany. Since I'm not a lawyer, I can't really say it for sure from a legal standpoint, but both of these songs are from the Eisregen album Krebskolonie, which is indexed in Germany. To find out what that entails, you can watch my Rammstein video, which is linked in the description and right now on the upper right corner of this video, but to cut it short for you, consider it an adults-only rating for this album. We know from official sources that both of the tracks Nachtgeburt and Futter für die Schweine were relevant factors for the decision to index these albums, so we can basically consider both of these tracks explicitly indexed. So if the label would have stated they would have taken down the videos because they recite the lyrics to completion, thus breaching youth protection laws in Germany, well, it would have been at least somewhat believable at first glance. Because even if that were the case, they would have had only to take the videos down for Germany and not the whole world. No other country gives a shit about our youth protection system, and why would they? It also looks like neither label nor band really cared about copyright infringement here, because as of writing this script and recording it on November the 7th in 2017, you can find, for example, 3 uploads of Nachtgeburt on YouTube. One is an old live clip which was uploaded 8 years ago and seems to have been professionally created and recorded, so I guess it's from a live DVD or something. One is an anime music video which has been uploaded 4 years ago, and the last one is a lyric video with some other music going on in the background while just showing you the original song text. Which, to be honest, really cracks me up because that is basically the exact same thing Changeman did, except of course for the analysis part of the track. So that is apparently okay. We can also find a 9-year-old upload of Futter für die Schweine from a concert, which again seems to have been taken from the same DVD as the prior live clip, and it has also the complete lyrics in the description. Changeman told me he objected the blocking multiple times by now, but YouTube just told him to hash it out with the copyright owner. Unlike copyright strikes, it seems blocking a video doesn't automatically expire if one party objects it and the other party does simply nothing. Which, to be honest, is quite scary in my opinion, unless YouTube implemented a far better ID process for this than, for example, striking a video. Basically anybody could send out those blocks. And if YouTube reacts so differently from strikes, some asshole could do some real damage to any channel with this. I mean, I get it. Due to the DMCA, YouTube has to act fast, basically instantly. But it doesn't mean they have to act like this, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, Changeman told me he repeatedly wrote the label, but they simply never responded in any way. YouTube, on the other hand, just sent out standard answering mails again and again, not really answering his questions while also refusing to lift the blocks. So of course I wrote them myself too. I sent out my mails to both the band and the label in the evening of October the 25th, 2017, and I feel by now I gave them ample time to respond. I have to admit I had to write the band through a form that was meant for concert requests. I don't know where that mail landed, if it landed directly with the band or maybe an agent or whatever, but I couldn't find literally not any other way to shoot an email their way. There was no contact address given on their website, on their Facebook page, wherever. Both of those mails in which I asked if they really took down the videos and if so, why they think it's okay to wield copyright as a reason when clearly no copyright is violated, went completely unanswered. So, to summarize this, youth protection might have been a reason, but it was not named a reason, and even if a worldwide block would have been unnecessary. Copyright infringement is a straight up lie, and given the videos that are up on YouTube can also be ruled out as a real motivation here. YouTube refuses to really look at the case, and the label and band just have both thumbs shoved up right in their ass, it seems, because they are too busy to answer any inquiries about this. I think after my own little run-in with fraudulent copyright claims, it should surprise nobody here that I pretty much condemn what is apparently going on. If it turns out to be true that this was simply done because the label didn't like Changeman's analysis, it's incredibly petty, especially considering the videos were 5 years old by now. This is some absolute bullshit, and I hope Changeman, who has quite the sizable audience, will rip them to shreds over this. In fact, I hope he takes a lawyer and drags their asses to court if need be. Because at this point I can only come to the conclusion that it was either the label or the band or a collusion of both, and that they did it because they didn't like what Changeman had to say. And honestly, I wish I wouldn't have had to make this video, but if something like that happens and it falls in, let's call it my area, so to say, I kinda feel it's sort of my duty. It's just as despicable as shitty video game developers striking down unfavorable reviews. If it was truly Massacre Records that struck the video down, or the band for that matter, they're craven pieces of shit. And YouTube is once again a piece of shit for just sending out standard response mails instead of taking care of one of their creators. But I guess at this point to expect any more from YouTube would also be naive. If after all this you want to check the guy out, I link Changeman's channel in the description of this video. I can actually recommend his mini-series Zoo ohne Tiere. That one got a good amount of chuckles out of me. I really enjoyed that one. And also in the description are all the social media accounts where you can follow me if you want to do so. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again next time. Have a nice day. Salida.